You think 15 years means something? You're the help. You're nobody. You don't talk back. You don't act like my equal. You're not. You're just a black maid. That's all you are. Charles Bennett, white property manager, says this while ripping Yvette Stevens' termination letter in half and throwing the pieces at her feet. Pick those up. Get out. March 14th. Yvette Stevens, 52-year-old black maid, looks at the torn paper on the floor. Doesn't pick it up. Security escorts her out past residents watching in silence. Charles thinks she'll disappear quietly. Wrong. 23 days later, Yvette returns with a manila folder, sets it on his desk. He opens it. Page 12, his words documented. Page 28, his private texts. His smile dies. Face drains pale. Hands shake. You documented everything? Everything. Stay for minute 8. Watch his face when he realizes this nobody black maid destroyed him with one folder. His shaking hands, his pale face. Pure panic. You'll replay it 5 times. One notebook ended everything. 5:30 a.m. Every morning for 15 years. Yvette Stevens, head of housekeeping. Sterling Heights Complex, 23 floors, Buckhead, Atlanta, never late once. The residents trust her. Mrs. Hughes, 84, calls every Tuesday. Just checking you're still here, Yvette. Yvette brings her mail, checks her locks, waters her plants. Mr. Cooper in 1523 asks about Sophia. How's medical school? 3rd year at Emory, $14,500 per semester. Yvette has it saved, barely. She keeps a notebook in her apron. Most think it's supply inventory. It's not. It's documentation. 15 years of meticulous habits. December 2023. New property manager, Charles Bennett, 39, transferred from Marietta. Arrives at 9 a.m., not 7:30. Parks in loading zones. Wears cologne that lingers too long. First week, efficiency measures. By January, 3 housekeepers quit. Maria, 9 years. Jennifer, 6 years. No explanations. Just gone. February. Charles takes late meetings with vendors. 11 p.m. Yvette works inventory one Tuesday, sees them on security monitors. Charles in a clean Co Supplies uniform, walking through the garage. She notes it. February 20th, 11:43 p.m. Doesn't know why yet, just knows it feels wrong. Residents ask questions. Where's Maria? Charles. Personnel decisions, performance issues. Always vague, always sudden. Early March, Mrs. Hughes files a complaint. New vendor aide was rude about her Persian rugs. Charles dismisses it. Mrs. Hughes, I'm sure there's been a misunderstanding. Mrs. Hughes isn't confused. She's 84, not senile. But Charles closes the file. No action required. Yvette watches Mrs. Hughes cry after. Notes the date, March 8th. Complaint dismissed without investigation. That night, Sophia calls. Mom, tuition invoice came. $14,500, due April 30th. Yvette has it, just barely. 15 years of first one in, last one out. The notebook has 72 entries now. Started December 3rd, small handwriting, blue ink, dates, times, direct quotes, witnesses when available. She doesn't know yet she'll need every single one. March 12th. Charles catches Yvette in the 3rd floor hallway, 9:15 a.m. My office, 10 o'clock sharp, 10 a.m. She sits. He leans back. We're bringing in fresh blood. I need you to train someone. She starts Monday. Train her for what position? Yours. Silence. My position, head of housekeeping. Restructuring, someone with a more modern approach. Modern usually means younger, cheaper, whiter. Union contract requires 30-day notice, section 4.7. His smile vanishes. You're being reassigned. Different duties. I'll need my union representative. Contract protocol. That won't be necessary. Section 4.7 says it is. His jaw tightens. Yvette, don't make this difficult. I'm following the contract. We'll talk Friday. Close the door on your way out. She goes to the break room, opens her locker, takes out the notebook, adds entry 73, March 12, 2024, 10:03 a.m., direct quotes, his hostile tone, everything. March 14th, 3:14 p.m., her radio crackles. Yvette, manager's office, immediately. She takes the elevator up. Charles is standing. There's a woman. White, mid-40s, expensive suit, Victoria Barnes, HR director, headquarters. This isn't a meeting, it's an execution. Yvette Stevens, effective immediately, your employment is terminated. Reason, insubordination and persistent attitude issues inconsistent with company values. One piece of paper. Crestview letterhead. Legal language. Insubordination. You refused direct management requests. Demonstrated a pattern of questioning authority. I asked to consult my union representative. That's in the contract. Your pattern of behavior has been extensively documented. Security will escort you. 20 minutes to collect belongings. Charles doesn't look up. Can't face her. Security arrives. Danny, 26. His eyes are red. Miss Stevens, I'm real sorry. I know, Danny. Her locker empties in 3 minutes. 15 years fits in a canvas bag. Notebook goes in her purse. Zipped compartment. Safe. Danny walks her through the lobby. 3:42 p.m., Mrs. Hughes, Mr. Cooper, others watching. Silent. Mrs. Hughes starts to stand. Yvette shakes her head. Not yet. The doors close. March air is cool. She sits in her car. Doesn't start the engine, just breathes. Phone buzzes. Mrs. Hughes. What happened? Mr. Cooper. This is wrong. Call if you need anything. She opens the notebook. Writes the date. 3:14 p.m. Victoria's exact words. No examples given. No documentation shown. No chance to respond. 20 minutes to erase 15 years. But Yvette Stevens has 73 entries. Dates, times, witnesses, direct quotes. And Charles Bennett has no idea what's coming. 3:56 p.m., Charles emails all staff. Effective immediately, Yvette Stevens is no longer employed. We thank her for her service. Operations continue without interruption. 2 sentences. 15 years. By 4:15, resident group chat explodes. 43 messages in 12 minutes. Where is Yvette? I just saw security walk her out. Questions multiply. Fast. Angry. Mr. Cooper posts. I witnessed the escort. Yvette's been here longer than most of us. This doesn't feel right. 5:20 p.m. Charles responds. Privacy laws prevent discussing personnel matters. Proper procedures were followed. Translation, stop asking. March 15th. The lobby floor isn't buffed. 3rd floor hallway smells stale. No lemon cleaner. By noon, 6 more residents post. Where's the new person? Building doesn't feel the same. Mr. Cooper researches, pulls Georgia employment law, screenshots SEIU contract provisions, posts them. Section 4.7 requires 30-day notice. Did this happen? If not, this might be illegal. 12 residents react. This doesn't sound right. Can we request a meeting? March 16th. Certified letters arrive at 12 units. Hand-delivered. Legal language. Lease compliance review. Your lease is under review for potential violations of Section 8.3. Disruptive behavior. Communications creating hostile environment for management. Contact office within 5 business days to avoid lease termination proceedings. Section 8.3 is for noise violations, not questions about fired employees. But the message is clear. Stop defending Yvette or lose your home. Mrs. Hughes calls her daughter Angela in Savannah, reads the letter. Angela, corporate attorney, listens. Mom, keep that letter, don't sign anything, document everything. Mr. Cooper photographs his letter, posts it. Anyone else get this? All 11 respond, yes, identical threats. 1 resident, I have a family. Can't risk eviction, sorry. Leaves the chat. 10 remain. Yvette's at home, small apartment in East Atlanta. She opens her laptop. Types, SEIU Local 628 Atlanta, Midtown. She'll be there Monday at 9. Her phone rings, unknown number. Miss Stevens, this is Tracy from Crestview HR. We're contesting your unemployment claim. Mr. Bennett has documented multiple instances of insubordination. You'll receive written notice in 3 to 5 days. What policy violations? Will be provided in written determination. Click, gone. Yvette sits at her kitchen table. Notebook open. 73 entries. 15 weeks. Every conversation that felt wrong, every moment she thought, I need to write this down. Phone buzzes, Mrs. Hughes, photo attachment, the threat letter. Yvette, they're threatening to evict people for asking about you. 12 residents threatened, for caring, for asking, for giving a damn about a black woman who cleaned their floors. She opens a new page. March 16th, 2024. Writes it all down. Then one more line. They think fear makes people quiet. They're wrong. Sunday night. Charles emails Victoria. Resident issue contained. Threat letters sent. Should resolve within the week. Victoria. Good work. Let's move forward. But Mrs. Hughes is handwriting a formal letter. Mr. Cooper creating a spreadsheet. And Yvette Stevens preparing for Monday. Some people don't get quiet when threatened. Some get organized. March 18th, 9:40 a.m. SEIU Local 628. Midtown. Raymond Foster, 58. Union Rep. Miss Stevens, come on back. I was terminated Thursday. Charles Bennett. Stated reason, insubordination. Raymond pulls out intake forms. Let's begin. I have documentation. Yvette sets the notebook on his desk. 72 entries, December 3rd through March 14th. Dates, times, witnesses, direct quotes. Raymond stops. You've been documenting. Since the day he arrived, he opens it. Page 1, December 3rd, 2023. 9:42 a.m. Charles's exact words. Location, context. He turns pages. December 10th, January 8th, March 12th. His expression shifts. Recognition. Yvette, this is incredibly thorough. I worked there 15 years. I know what normal looks like. This wasn't normal. Raymond flips to the termination. March 14th. Victoria Barnes present. How many witnesses can corroborate these? 8, 5 housekeepers, 3 residents. He calls Catherine Hudson, employment attorney. She enters, reads selected pages. Her jaw tightens. Miss Stevens, have you retained counsel? You're looking at my documentation. I'm asking if you want me to represent you, officially. What would that involve? EEOC complaint, federal racial discrimination, retaliation, pattern and practice, subpoena records, emails, CCTV, financials, months, maybe longer. It will get ugly. How much? Pro bono. You documented systematic pattern. When it's systemic, it matters. I don't charge for cases that matter. Silence. 8 seconds. I have a daughter, Emery. 3rd year medical school, tuition due April 30th, $14,500. I have it saved. Barely. If this takes months, I need work fast. Catherine nods. Understood. But if your witnesses confirm this, Charles Bennett won't have months. This documentation moves fast when it's this detailed. Raymond leans forward. Most people come in angry, scared, defeated. You walked in like you'd already won. Yvette looks at him, direct. I haven't won anything, but I wasn't going to lose because I wasn't prepared. She stands. Handshake, firm. When do we start? Catherine pulls out a retainer agreement. Right now, sign, then we file. Yvette signs. Black ink, steady signature. 15 years of being steady, 72 entries of being 3 steps ahead. Charles Bennett still has no idea what's coming. March 25th. Catherine files with EEOC. Case hash 2024 GA00832. Charging party Yvette Stevens. 19 pages. 72 documented incidents, 8 witnesses, 15 years perfect reviews, 0 disciplinary actions before Charles. 1 termination letter with no specific examples. EEOC assigns investigator within 48 hours, usually takes 2 weeks. Catherine flagged urgent, pattern discrimination, risk of evidence destruction, March 28th. Catherine interviews 5 housekeepers, current Sterling Heights employees, anonymous, conference room at SEIU, staggered times. Maria Gonzalez, 41. Charles asked me to sign supply confirmations for orders I never received. When I said I couldn't sign for something I didn't see, he wrote me up. Failure to follow procedures. I signed after that. Everyone does. We're scared. Jennifer Washington, 36, black. He told me I was too friendly with residents, unprofessional to have conversations, but white housekeepers chat in the lobby all the time. Nobody says anything to them, just me. Anonymous. I can't lose this job, kids. But what happened to Yvette? I saw it coming. She wouldn't look away when Charles was doing shady vendor things. That's why she's gone. Catherine records everything. Did you witness incidents in Miss Stevens' log? 2 say yes. Exact dates. Corroborate details. Match Yvette's entries word for word. Pattern confirmed. Not 1 angry employee. Systematic. April 1st. Catherine subpoenas CCTV footage. Sterling Heights has 12 cameras. She requests camera B garage entrance. February 15th, March 15th. Hours 10 p.m. midnight. Crestview objects. Irrelevant. Invasion of privacy. Fishing expedition. Judge reviews. Catherine attached Yvette's notebook excerpts. February 20th, 11:43 p.m. Charles entering with vendor. No supplies visible. Judge orders production. 10 days. April 8th. Footage arrives. Catherine watches every second. February 20th, 2024. 23 hours, 43 minutes, and 18 seconds. Charles enters garage. Cleanco supplies uniform follows. Vendor carrying nothing. No boxes, no equipment, just clipboard. Catherine cross-references invoices. Standard items through November 2023. Then December, new line item. Consulting services, $3,200 monthly. Consulting services from a janitorial supply company. She pulls in corporation records. Cleanco Supplies, LLC. Registered agent, Michael Torres. Banking records via subpoena. Wire transfers. CleanCo to SunTrust. Account, CB Consulting LLC. Owner, Charles Bennett. The Money Loops. Crestview pays CleanCo $3,200 monthly for fake consulting. CleanCo wires to CB Consulting. Charles pays himself $3,200 monthly. Since December, 5 months, $16,000 total. Exhibit F vendor kickback scheme. Fraudulent billing. Yvette refused to falsify logs. That's why Charles needed her gone. April 12th. Catherine's investigator searches database. Crestview Property Management. All Georgia locations. 2022 to 2024. Filter female, housekeeping, involuntary termination, reason, attitude, or insubordination. 18 results. Filter by race. 17 black women, 1 Latina, 0 white women. Sterling Heights before Charles, 0 matching terminations. Clean record. Charles's previous property, Marietta, 2021 to 2023. 5 terminations. All black women, all housekeeping, all attitude problems. Pattern confirmed. This is his method. Catherine contacts terminated women. Cold calls, most don't answer. 1 hangs up, 1 agrees. Denise Carter, 36, terminated November 2022. Marietta, Charles Bennett, manager. April 15th, Denise's deposition. Catherine's office, court reporter. Denise signed NDA, $8,000 to stay quiet, violating it by being here. Could be sued. Came anyway. He asked me to approve vendor invoices without checking deliveries. When I asked to see actual supplies, he said I was creating unnecessary problems. 2 weeks later, fired. Insubordination, attitude, exact same words you said he used with Yvette. Why are you here? You're risking legal action. Denise's eyes clear. Decided. Because I took the money, stayed quiet, then he went to another property and did it again. If I stay quiet now, there'll be another Yvette next year. The $8,000, gone, but my conscience, still here. Can't live with it anymore. Exhibit K, prior bad acts, pattern evidence, same manager, same tactics, different property, same outcome, 3 women, same story. If you've ever been told to just let it go, keep watching. Receipts get better. April 18th, Mr. Cooper delivers analysis. 7 Crestview properties, Georgia, 2020 to 2024. Management personnel changes. Termination rates by race, gender. Vendor contract modifications. 6 other properties. Same pattern. Same spike in black female housekeeping terminations when new managers arrive. Same vendors. Same consulting fees. Different names. Identical structure. 18 women. 7 properties. 4 years. Not 1 bad manager. It's the system. Catherine amends EEOC complaint. Not just Yvette anymore. 18 women. 7 properties. Corporate culture that enables discrimination because it's profitable. April 22nd. Catherine requests HR files. Employee grievances. Sterling Heights. 2022 to 2024. Crestview objects. Confidential, privileged. Judge orders production. Complaints against Charles Bennett specifically. 30 days. Files arrive in 23 days. 17 complaints. 2023, March 2024. 7 about Charles, racial comments, favoritism toward whites, retaliation, all marked. Resolved, no action required. All closed by Victoria Barnes. Email chain, March 3rd, 2024, 11 days before Yvette's termination. Charles to Victoria. Yvette Stevens is becoming a problem, questions everything, challenges my decisions. I need to document properly before action. Advise. Victoria responds same day. Document behavior more thoroughly before proceeding. We need solid paper trail to defend termination if challenged. Get witness statements. Write everything with dates, times. Frame as refusal to follow directives, not retaliation for questions. HR will support if documentation complete. Company knew. HR knew. They coached him how to fire her legally. Exhibit Q, corporate knowledge, corporate complicity, premeditated termination. Victoria helped build the pretextual case. 3 women this property, 6 other properties, 18 total. HR emails proving corporate knowledge, financial records proving kickback motive, not wrongful termination. A system, a company culture, a profitable scheme targeting black women because someone calculated black women are least likely to fight back. They calculated wrong. April 5th, 3 p.m. Charles receives email. Catherine Hudson, attorney. Subject, client meeting request, Yvette Stevens matter. He forwards to Victoria. FYI, this should be entertaining. Victoria, do not meet without counsel. Charles, it's just the housekeeper, I can handle it. April 6th, 2:14 p.m., Charles's office, door open. Leaning back, scrolling phone, confident. Yvette appears. No security, housekeeping uniform, navy blue, Sterling Heights logo, 15 years wearing it. She's carrying a manila folder. She doesn't sit. Charles doesn't stand. Miss Stevens sets phone down, almost smiling. What can I do for you? Amused, like she's begging for her job. Yvette sets folder on his desk. Centered, neat, steps back, hands at sides, he opens it, slow, confident. First page, attorney letterhead. He skims, whatever, flips, timeline. December 3rd, 2023, 9:42 a.m., his name, his exact words, documented. He flips faster. December 10th, January 8th, March 12th. Every page his name, every entry dated, timed, witnessed. Page 12, CCTV stills. Garage, camera B, him with Michael Torres, 11:43 p.m. Page 15, vendor payments. Clean Co. to CB Consulting, $3,200 monthly. His LLC. His hand stops. Page 19, Denise Carter deposition. November 2022 termination, Marietta. Same pattern. Page 23, EEOC filing. Case hash 2024 GA00832, filed March 25th. He stops. Face changes. Color drains. Normal to pale in seconds. Hand holding folder trembles. You documented. Yvette's voice quiet, calm, steady as 15 years. Everything, every conversation, every witness, every dollar you stole. 15 months, Charles. You thought I was just the help. Thought I was just cleaning toilets. He tries to smile. Can't. This doesn't prove. Page 28. Your text messages to Michael Torres, February 28th. We subpoenaed your phone records yesterday. Your attorney has a copy. Silence. Complete. 5 seconds. 10. He flips to 28. Text messages, partially redacted, but dates clear, context clear. Getting rid of her next month. February 28th. 2 weeks before insubordination. Premeditation documented. Those are private. They're evidence now. Discovery. Your attorney should have explained. She takes the folder back. This is your copy. My attorney has originals. So does EEOC, corporate. Atlanta Journal-Constitution. They're running the story Thursday. Turns to door, stops, looks back. You have 3 days to decide. My attorney's number is page 1, or your lawyer can call. Your choice. Walks out. Door closes. Soft click. Charles sits alone. Office suddenly smaller. Colder. Phone buzzes. Victoria. Urgent. Meeting required immediately. Stevens litigation. He remembers every page, especially 28. April 8th, 9 a.m. Certified mail. Harrison and Reed, LLP. Expensive letterhead. Expedited overnight. 10 pages. Legal threats. Cease and desist. Immediate cessation of all defamatory statements. Retract false allegations. Return all company documents within 24 hours. Cease contact with employees and residents. Failure legal action seeking $750,000. Criminal referral for theft of proprietary information. Violation of confidentiality, tortious interference. Words designed to terrify. Criminal. Theft. Fraud. Extortion. 27 paragraphs of intimidation. Yvette photographs each page. Sends to Catherine. Catherine responds in 3 minutes. Expected. Standard intimidation. Don't respond. Let me handle it. 2:30 p.m. Charles makes calls. 12 calls. Every resident who signed Mrs. Hughes's letter. He's been told not to. Does it anyway. Mr. Cooper, Charles Bennett. Miss Stevens is making false allegations as litigation strategy. We may need to review lease agreements for residents participating in what could constitute defamation. Courtesy heads up before escalation. 7 calls, 7 scripts, 7 residents now understand. Stop supporting Yvette or face eviction. 4:15 p.m. Nathan Cooper gets another call. Mr. Cooper? Marcus Reynolds, Senior Counsel, Crestview. We understand you're writing an article. Any false statements will be met with immediate litigation. Your employer will be named co-defendant. Article scheduled Thursday. Now under legal review. Publication delayed indefinitely. April 9th. Hand-delivered envelope, Yvette's apartment. Someone looked up her address. Settlement offer. 15 pages. Crestview offers Miss Yvette Stevens $15,000 in exchange for 1. Complete release of all claims. 2. Return of all materials. 3. Mutual non-disparagement. 4. Confidentiality. Offer expires 48 hours, 15,000, not 8 like Denise. They're scared, offering double, but no admission of wrongdoing, no policy changes, no corrected personnel file, just money and silence. She photographs it. Sends to Catherine. Catherine calls. They're panicking. The confrontation worked. But Yvette, this gets worse before better. Financial pressure, public pressure, they'll try to break you. Are you prepared? What does worse look like? They'll come at everything, your unemployment, your daughter, your reputation, anything for leverage. April 10th, worse arrives, Georgia Department of Labor. Unemployment claim denied. Reason, misconduct. Employer documentation confirms insubordination pattern. May file appeal. Process estimated 90, 120 days. Rent due 15 days. $850. Car payment 10 days. $290. Banking app, checking $380, 14 cents. Savings $0. Settlement offer $15,000 right there. Could pay rent 18 months. Half of Sophia's tuition, breathing room, survival. All she has to do is sign. Never speak about it. Let Charles do this to someone else. That night, Sophia calls. Video. Mom, you look exhausted. Long week. Mom, something weird. Emory Financial Aid called. Asked questions about funding sources. Asked about legal issues affecting tuition payment. They've never called before. What exactly did they say? Routine reviews for compliance, but it didn't feel routine, felt targeted. They're going after Sophia now, indirectly, carefully, deliberately. Accept settlement or we'll destroy everything, your job, your daughter's education, your future. Yvette sits at her table after. Settlement paper there, 15,000, 48 hours counting down. Could pay everything. Have money left, 8 months security, find work, survive, or fight, with $380, rent due in days, tuition in weeks, against unlimited legal resources. She opens her personal journal, writes date, April 10th, 2024. Mrs. Hughes, 84, told she was confused when she wasn't. Maria signs false orders because she's scared. Jennifer hides who she is. Denise took $8,000 and Charles kept going. If I take $15,000, there'll be another Yvette next year. $380 isn't much, but it's honest. $15,000 would feel like blood money. Closes journal, calls Catherine. I'm rejecting the settlement publicly. I want statement released. I want people to know I was offered money to stay silent and said no. I want Charles to know I'm not going away. Catherine's voice careful. That makes them escalate. You're at $380, rent due 2 weeks. I know exactly what I have. I know what I'm risking. But $380 with integrity is worth more than $15,000 buried. File whatever needs filing. Let's finish this. She's down to $380. Rent due 13 days. Tuition 20 days. But she's not alone. Not backing down. April 12th. Bank statement arrives. Checking $380, 14 cents. Savings $0. Overdraft declined. She spreads bills across her kitchen table, small table, secondhand, formica peeling at edges. Bills cover it completely. Rent, due April 15th, 3 days, $850. Late fee after 15th, $75. Eviction begins day 30. Car payment, due April 18th, $290. She needs the car, can't work without it. Electricity, $83. Phone, $65, needs phone. Catherine calls. EEOC calls, employers call, groceries 2 weeks, $120 if careful, rice, beans, eggs, total needed, $1,408, total available, $380, 14 cents. Math doesn't work. Even without Sophia's tuition doesn't work. Tuition invoice separate, printed yesterday. Emory University bursar. Student, Sophia Stevens. Amount $14,500, due April 30th, 18 days. Payment plans need good credit. Yvette doesn't have good credit, never needed it. Always paid cash, never late. Not once. 3 years, 6 semesters, on time every semester. Sophia doesn't know how close it's been. Doesn't know Yvette skipped meals for tuition. Rejected settlement sits on top. $15,000. Expired 5 p.m. yesterday. She let it die. Didn't sign, didn't call. Could have paid everything. Rent, car, utilities, tuition. Had $12,000 left. 8 months breathing room. Time to find work, recover, survive. All she had to do was sign, return notebook. Never speak about Charles or Crestview ever again. Phone buzzes. Sophia. Mom, can we talk? Yvette calls back. What's wrong? Nothing, just... Tuition invoice came to my portal. I know it's due soon. Are we okay? Because if not, I can take semester off, work, come back January. No, voice firm, final. Absolutely not. Mom, Sophia, listen. You are not taking time off. You're graduating in 2 years. You're going to be Dr. Stevens. That plan doesn't change. Silence. Then, Mom, what would you tell me to do? If someone offered me money to stay quiet about something wrong, what would you tell me? Yvette looks at bills. $380. Tuition. Expired settlement. What do you think I'd tell you? You tell me some things aren't about money. To do what's right even when it costs everything. That's what integrity means. Then you already know my answer. Call ends. Yvette sits alone. Small apartment, 1 bedroom. Pull-out couch where she sleeps. Walls need paint. Carpet old, but hers. For 13 more days if she can't pay rent. Opens journal. Writes today's date. $380. That's what standing up costs. Mrs. Hughes told she was confused. Maria signs lies from fear. Jennifer hides herself. Denise took $8,000 and Charles continued. If I take $15,000, another Yvette next year. Another woman, another notebook. Another person told to be quiet. $380 isn't much, but it's clean. Maybe that matters more than survival. Closes journal. Texts Catherine. Need to know what happens next. All of it. Worst, best, everything. Catherine calls. Worst? Drag out months, run out of money, lose apartment, Sophia defers school, lose everything trying to win. Best? Move fast, injunction hearing, 60 days, reinstated with back pay, settle before trial, real money, policy changes, reputation back, most likely somewhere middle. This hurts before it helps. I'm ready. Are you? Ready means $380 might become zero, rice and beans for months. Sophia might have to know how bad this really is. Yvette looks at bills. Tuition. Expired settlement. I'm ready. File what needs filing. I'm not backing down. Apartment quiet. Small. Soon, maybe not hers, but integrity intact. Notebook safe. Charles's 3-day warning almost up. 13 days until rent late. 18 until tuition due. 60 maybe until hearing. Math doesn't work, but Yvette Stevens was never good at backing down when math got hard. April 13th. Catherine releases statement. 1 page, direct. Yvette Stevens rejects settlement, vows to continue fight. Miss Stevens was offered $15,000 by Crestview for her silence. She declined. I cannot accept money that requires me to stay silent about discrimination. Some things matter more than financial security. Mr. Cooper posts it. Resident chat, Twitter, LinkedIn, blog. By 11 a.m., 12,000 views. By noon, 28,000. Comments flood. This happened to me at my last job. I signed. Regret it every day. I wish I'd documented like she did. Had nothing to prove it. This is why they make us sign NDAs. No, we'll be too scared to break them. 2:15 p.m., Mrs. Hughes at her dining table. Unit 1804, antique mahogany, family heirloom, good stationery, cream, monogrammed, handwritten, cursive, beautiful penmanship. 84 years writing letters that matter. To whom it may concern, I am Margaret Hughes, Sterling Heights resident, 12 years. Yvette Stevens is not merely former employee. She demonstrated care when others did not. Checked my locks weekly, watered plants, made me feel safe. When I filed complaint about rude vendor behavior, property manager dismissed my concerns, suggested I was confused. I am 84, not confused. Yvette believed me when management did not. That is why she's no longer employed. That is why I'm signing. Because some things matter more than avoiding inconvenience. Notarized at Bank Monday, then walks building, door to door, 11 units, asks each resident to read, sign if they agree, stand up if willing, 10 sign, 1 doesn't answer, 12 residents total, 1 letter, notarized signatures, sent certified to Crestview Corporate, CEO, board, legal, everyone who matters. April 14th, 3:20 p.m., someone creates GoFundMe. Support Yvette Stevens' fight against workplace discrimination. Mr. Cooper's Medium article. Mrs. Hughes's letter scanned. Sterling Heights photo. Goal. $25,000. Rent, tuition, legal costs, survival. Link posted. Shared everywhere. Strangers, residents, former employees, people who cleaned houses, people who never met Yvette but recognized the story because they lived it. 9 p.m. First check. $12,000. 140 donors. This happened to my mother. I was fired for asking questions, too. Thank you for fighting back. April 15th, 6 a.m., $18,000, 280 donors. Noon, $23,000, 340 donors. Yvette's phone won't stop. Messages, emails, comments, too many, too fast. Catherine calls. GoFundMe hit $23,000. Rent covered, tuition covered. You can breathe. Don't have to choose between fighting and surviving anymore. Yvette sits, stares at phone. Number climbing. $23,400. $23,600. 340 people. Knows maybe 15 personally. Rest complete strangers. But they believed her, trusted her, supported her. April 16th, 4:30 p.m. Crestview corporate statement, posted online, sent to Atlanta media. Crestview takes all allegations seriously. We've retained independent third-party firm for thorough investigation of Miss Stevens's claims. Committed to fair, transparent, comprehensive review. Will cooperate fully with governmental inquiries. Translation: pressure too loud, documentation too strong, public attention too bright, can't ignore anymore. Silence breaking. Yvette Stevens isn't alone. April 18th, discovery accelerates. Catherine files motion. Charles Bennett's personal cell phone records. Text messages, call logs. February 1st, March 15th, 2024, all employment-related communications. Charles's attorney objects. Invasion of privacy, personal device, irrelevant, privileged. Judge reviews Catherine's brief. Kickback scheme documented. Late-night vendor meetings. Sudden termination 2 weeks after conversations. Personal records may contain discriminatory motive evidence. Motion granted 10 days. April 22nd, messages arrive, PDF, partially redacted, but not redacted enough. Not where matters most. February 28th, 11:43 p.m. Charles Bennett to Michael Torres, CleanCo. Getting rid of her next month, tired of her racial slur redacted, acting like she owns the place, always questioning everything. Some people don't know their place. Once she's gone, we're clear to adjust invoicing like discussed. Racial slur blocked, 7 letters, but context crystal clear, date clear. February 28th, 2 full weeks before Charles demanded Yvette train replacement, 2 weeks before alleged insubordination. Catherine reads 3 times. Prints, highlights date, premeditation, racial animus, motive, all one text. But there's more. March 1st, 9:22 a.m. Email, Charles to Victoria Barnes. Subject, Stevens issue. Victoria, following up on yesterday's call. Yvette Stevens creating ongoing problems. Questioning vendor arrangements. Refused to sign invoices without seeing physical deliveries. Challenged me about union contract provisions in front of staff. Need to move on this soon, but want to make sure we're protected legally. Advise best approach. Victoria responds. Same day, 10:18 a.m. Charles, I understand concerns about her questioning vendor arrangements. Document problematic behavior more thoroughly before proceeding with termination. We need solid, defensible paper trail to successfully defend decision if challenged. Make sure you have specific insubordination examples. Get witness statements if possible. Write everything with dates, times. Frame as refusal to follow management directives, not retaliation for asking questions. HR will fully support termination if documentation complete and properly structured. Time-stamped, March 1st, 13 days before termination. HR knew. HR coached him. HR helped build pretextual case. Victoria didn't just know. She orchestrated legal strategy. Exhibit T, text messages showing premeditation and racial animus. Exhibit U, HR emails showing corporate knowledge and active participation. But Catherine's investigator finds more. Bigger, internal Crestview memo. December 2022, marked confidential, management only. Subject, property management efficiency initiative. 17 bullet points. 1 catches her eye. Reduce payroll costs in housekeeping by targeting long-time employees with highest wages. Replace with lower-wage contractors. Identify employees with 10+ years tenure. Document performance issues as termination cause to avoid unemployment claims. Estimated annual savings per property, $45,000, $60,000. Signed, Director of Operations. Countersigned, Victoria Barnes. Corporate signature, December 15th, 2022. Written policy. Target long-time employees. Document pretextual reasons, terminate, save money in writing, distribution list, 7 property managers, including Charles Bennett at Marietta. January 2023, 3 months before his first documented termination of longtime black housekeeper there. Not one bad manager, not one bad HR director, corporate strategy, approved at highest levels, targeting most vulnerable. predominantly black women, because someone calculated it was profitable. Mr. Cooper delivers final spreadsheet, 7 properties. Same 3 managers rotated. Every property shows same pattern within 3 months. Long-time housekeeping terminated, replaced with contractors, vendor contracts modified. Consulting fees appear, 18 women, 7 properties, 4 years. Average tenure, 12.4 years. Average age, 48. Race, 17 black, 1 Latina, 0 white. Average savings per termination, $8,200 annually. Total estimated savings to Crestview, $592,000 over 4 years. Total paid settlements NDAs, $124,000. Net profit, $468,000. Made almost $500,000 systematically targeting black women with long tenure, forcing them out, replacing with cheaper labor, and documented the strategy in internal memos. Catherine amends EEOC complaint final time. Individual claim becomes pattern and practice. Request expands. Compensatory damages. Punitive, injunctive relief. Company-wide policy reform. Independent monitoring and request to notify all terminated housekeeping employees past 4 years about right to join as class members. Not about Yvette anymore. 18 women deserving justice. Maybe hundreds more who don't know they have rights. April 30th, United States District Court, Northern District of Georgia, Courtroom 1803. Preliminary injunction hearing. Yvette Stevens v. Crestview Property Management. Judge Hannah Chambers presiding. 61, federal appointment 2009. Reputation, thorough, no nonsense, doesn't tolerate unprepared attorneys. Reads every brief, exhibit, footnote. Starts reading 5 a.m. with coffee, 9 a.m., courtroom half full, Mrs. Hughes, Mr. Cooper, Raymond Foster. 5 Sterling Heights residents and Sophia took day off from Emory, early flight, 3rd row behind her mother. Yvette feels Sophia's presence without turning. Steady strength, passed down, mother to daughter. Charles Bennett at defense table, 2 attorneys, Harrison and Reed, 3-piece suits, leather briefcases. Victoria Barnes, 2nd row behind them, corporate representation, watching everything. Catherine Hudson stands, navy suit, red folder. Your Honor, evidence demonstrates clear systematic pattern of racial discrimination, retaliation, corporate complicity. Ms. Stevens terminated for refusing to participate in fraudulent vendor kickback scheme. She documented 15 months of increasingly hostile, discriminatory behavior. Fired 2 days after citing union contract provisions. Evidence conclusively proves termination was premeditated, motivated by racial animus, facilitated by corporate HR coaching property manager how to build pretextual case. She submits exhibits. Text messages, February 28th, HR emails, March 1st, vendor payments, CCTV footage, pattern analysis, Denise Carter testimony, internal efficiency memo, December 2022, every piece, every receipt, 72 entries from college-ruled notebook Charles thought didn't matter. Charles's attorney stands, Richard Morrison, 56, Harrison and Reed, partner, 28 years employment defense. Your Honor, this case fundamentally about job performance and insubordination. Ms. Stevens repeatedly refused direct management requests, questioned legitimate business decisions, undermined supervisor authority in front of staff and residents. Termination was lawful, proper, entirely within company business judgment. Discrimination claims simply unfounded and unsupported by credible evidence. Judge Chambers looks up. Counselor, I've read text messages. February 28th. Getting rid of her next month. 2 weeks before alleged insubordination occurred. Explain that? Morrison doesn't miss beat. Your Honor, that message taken out of context. Private communication expressing frustration with difficult employee situation doesn't constitute premeditated termination evidence. It's dated and time-stamped. Termination occurred exactly when predicted. That's not context. That's timeline. She flips pages. And HR emails, March 1st. Ms. Barnes writing, document behavior more thoroughly before proceeding. We need solid paper trail to defend decision. Your client's HR director coaching manager how to manufacture termination case. How is that not evidence of pretext? Your Honor, that email shows HR ensuring proper documentation procedures. It shows HR helping build false case. There's difference between requiring documentation and instructing someone to create it retroactively. She looks directly at Victoria. Victoria's face doesn't change. Professional mask, but hands grip briefcase tight. Judge turns to Charles. Mr. Bennett, stand up. Charles stands. Attorneys exchange glances. Mr. Bennett, did you write these text messages? Holds Exhibit T. Morrison starts objecting. Your Honor, my client... Judge raises hand. Silence. Mr. Bennett, did you write these messages? Yes or no? Courtroom completely silent. Court reporter stops typing, waiting. Charles's voice quiet, strained. The messages are... They were taken out of... Did you write these messages? Silence. 5 seconds. 10. 15. Yes. And Miss Barnes, did you send emails advising Mr. Bennett to document Miss Stevens' behavior more thoroughly before terminating? Victoria stands slowly. Your Honor, I was providing guidance on proper HR procedures. You were providing guidance on manufacturing pretextual case. I can read, Miss Barnes. Been doing this 15 years. I know difference between documenting actual performance issues and building false paper trail. She closes folder, sets it down. Sound echoes in silent courtroom. Preliminary injunction granted. Miss Stevens hereby reinstated to head of housekeeping position at Sterling Heights effective immediately. Full back pay March 14th to present. All benefits restored. Mr. Bennett, you are suspended without pay pending litigation outcome and related investigations. Miss Barnes, the court strongly recommends Crestview examine your role very carefully. She looks at both attorneys. This court finds sufficient evidence of discriminatory pretext, racial animus, corporate knowledge to proceed to trial. This is not close case. Documentation extensive and credible. Discovery continues. Setting settlement conference May 15th. And gentlemen, looks at defense. If this goes to jury, you will lose. Badly. I suggest you consider that carefully. Gavel, one sharp crack, final. Charles walks past Yvette. Doesn't look. Can't. Victoria follows, silent, expressionless. But career just ended. She doesn't know it yet. Yvette stands, Sophia there immediately. Arms around mother, Catherine's hand on shoulder, Raymond smiling wide, Mrs. Hughes crying, happy tears, Mr. Cooper already typing. Article draft, AJC will publish. Front page. Outside courthouse, April sun warm, bright. Yvette breathes, deep breath, really breathes. First time 48 days, not over. Trial still months away, but momentum shifted. Truth public, system acknowledged what happened. Justice isn't finished, but it started. October 15th, 2024, 6 months later, settlement conference, federal mediator, both parties, 4 hours, final terms, $385,000. Full reinstatement with promotion to Regional Quality Supervisor, Crestview Southeast Division. Oversight 43 properties. Direct corporate report. Company-wide mandatory bias training. Annual, no exceptions. Independent oversight committee. 2 resident representatives required each property. Mr. Cooper volunteers Sterling Heights. Charles Bennett terminated September 2024. Victoria Barnes resigned August 2024. Press release, pursuing other opportunities. Translation, forced out. Settlement includes 1 provision Charles fought against. Crestview must publicly report diversity metrics annually. Termination rates by race gender. Complaint resolution statistics. Vendor contract transparency. Public record. Available to anyone. Sunlight is best disinfectant. Accountability isn't one moment. It's process that never ends. May 2025, Emory University School of Medicine, graduation, Sophia Stevens, Maryland. Yvette sits 3rd row, same as courtroom, same daughter she protected, program in hands, paid for, earned, every penny honest. The notebook stays in Yvette's desk drawer at new office. Not hidden, ready. Because this won't be last time someone needs to document, to fight, to choose integrity over silence. Some documents weigh 8 ounces. Some change careers. Some change systems. Yvette Stevens' notebook changed all 3. If you've ever kept receipts when something felt wrong, comment your story below. If this reminded you why documentation matters, subscribe. Because there are more Yvettes out there. More people refusing to stay silent. More systems that need changing. Like if you stayed for the courtroom scene. Share if someone you know needs to hear this. Because silence protects systems. But receipts change them. 1 notebook, 72 entries, 15 months. That's all it took to bring down a manager, an HR director, and expose a company-wide scheme. Some people think documentation doesn't matter. Charles Bennett thought that too. He was wrong.